I'm a 20-year Army vet. I was retired Army Sergeant First Class. You know, and, I'm big on discipline, and probably a big part of that's because of the Army. You know, you just can't take 20 years of discipline away. You know, I was in a combat theater, the Gulf War in 1991, and as soon as you hit the ground over there, it's all about survival. It's all about trying to keep from dying. You know, you have your enemy, and you can't think of your enemy as a person. You can't think of the enemy as being human. You have to dehumanize them. You have to think of them as targets. And there's a few times I have to admit that I started to feel like, you know, feel bad because, you know, the enemy, you know, they're people. But I couldn't keep that feeling. I had to get rid of that. But you know, when you dehumanize people, it takes something away from you. You know, something inside of you just dies. And you get to the point where all you can feel is anger or nothing at all. But it's easier than feeling guilt. So, you know, guilt, I don't want to feel that. I gotta get away from that. So I get hard, I get angry, and I push people away.
When I was about 5 or 6 years old, my family moved us to South Central LA. We were dead in the middle of gangland territory. I learned that to get by down there, you've got to either learn how to run real fast or fight real hard. I began using and drinking to try and fit in. Because of an injury that I sustained while I was in the Marine Corps, I was hooked up to a steady supply of morphine for just about a year, and that started yet another addiction. Once they pulled the prescriptions for the medications, I was left with an addiction and no supply, so I began using cocaine. I hit my low point of my drug addiction November 11th, 1997. I ingested a little over half an ounce of cocaine to commit suicide and kill myself. When I woke up in the morning still alive, I realized that wasn't going to work and just put them aside, and I never touched drugs again. My drinking progressed, however. My rock bottom for that came a few years later. I woke up in my front yard. There were police officers around me. The paramedics had told me I'd literally drank myself to death. And it was right then and there that I decided something's got to change. It's got to be me. I haven't had a drop since. The real guilt came after I quit. I lost my relationship with my family. And there's holes in that relationship that'll never get filled. The trust is, it's building up, but it'll never be like it was. You know, there's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of guilt. I look back and it was all my fault.
I hardly feel it anymore.
The guilt.
I lost the ability to feel.
I lost everything that was important to me. And it was my fault.
It was all my fault. I pushed people away.
I lost relationships.
I ran away from the guilt.
I hid from it.
I became calloused.
I became senseless.
There was no one else to blame.
The fault was mine.
Guilty.
Guilty.
Guilty.